Hey bros and mofos, what the hell's going down? Stonely back here today with part 2 of the Cod of War series. Actually, Cod of War 2. Anyway, so we're going to be playing through God of War 2. I did play through God of War 1, but I'm going to skip over the videos there because it's kind of, I don't know, just the resolution on the first God of War wasn't as great in the first one, back on PS2. Everything's kind of dark, but I did upload a video covering the story of the first God of War, so if you guys want to check that out, it is all of the cinematics put together in one 20-something minute long video on my channel. Go check that out if you guys want to know the story.
My lord, I knew you could not be killed. I never lost faith.
Return to Sparta and prepare for battle.
But our brothers are dead.
You can still hold a sword. Spartans do not surrender. Do as your god commands.
And what of you, my lord?
I am going after Zeus. It seems I still have allies on Olympus.
Anyway, to catch you guys up to speed, so here on the part 1, I kind of covered everything that happened in the first God of War. So far in part 1, what happened was we, at the end of the first God of War, we killed Ares, became a god. At the beginning of God of War 2, our army of Spartans.
To Olympus, beast! I must face Zeus! You defy the god of war!
You are no longer a god, Kratos. Zeus, Olympus, and the blade which holds all your power will forevermore be out of reach. Your only hope is to find the Sisters of Fate and travel back through time to the moment Zeus betrayed you, for only then will he truly be vulnerable. Kratos, to succeed, you will need more help than I can give. My Titan brother slumbers deep inside his mountain prison. Go. It is time he was...
Alright, so I'm going to start off by fixing the flight controls from inverted to normal because they're kind of thrown off. Anyway, so at the beginning of God of War 2, our army of Spartans is taking another city for their beloved God of War, aka Kratos. And Kratos comes in to finish the fight as a god. Well, Athena stops him before he jumps from Olympus down to Rhodes and tells him that he shouldn't be doing that. And he does it anyway. So whenever he lands in Rhodes, Athena also goes to Rhodes and takes control of a Colossus and kind of fights Kratos. So basically all of part 1 was fighting the Colossus of Rhodes, empowered by Athena. And Zeus helps by throwing down the Blade of Olympus, which was the sword known to stop the war, the Great War between the gods and the Titans. And anyway, so he tells Kratos that he must empower the sword by putting all of his energy into the sword. So little by little we drain all of our red orbs, all of our power, all of our magic, all of our health into the Blade of Olympus to kill the Colossus of Rhodes. Well, Zeus takes the advantage of Kratos having all of his power drained into the Blade of Olympus and takes the Blade of Olympus himself and kills Kratos. So at the beginning here, we escaped from the underworld and came back to life, and we are now on our journey to find the Sisters of Fate, which have control of people's destinies and stuff, and they can go back in time. So basically what we're going to be doing in God of War 2 is finding the Sisters of Fate one by one and trying to change Kratos' destiny. So we're on Pegasus now, and these griffins are kind of irritating, to be honest. So I don't know what these are. These things attacking me right now, like they're not griffins. They're something. At first it was griffins. Now something else is attacking me, and all they're doing is darting into me and making me fall. And it's, I don't know how to avoid them. Like maybe a correctly timed dash to the side will do it, but I mean, you can see I try it last second, I still get hit. I don't know what they are. Like they're not. I don't know if they're harpies or something. They look like some kind of bird. Over and over again, though. Okay, so that's how I think I dashed, and it made it. I may have missed it by dashing. So anyway, if you guys didn't watch part 1, we are doing bonus play here. Okay, what is this? Some kind of big ass bird. Anyway, so we're doing bonus play here, and bonus play is after it's unlocked after you beat the game, and you get to play the game again on with everything unlocked that you unlocked in the previous gameplay. So we already have all of the god powers and all of the weapons, and most of them are max. So we'll be maxing everything out on this gameplay and showing you guys where the urns of power are, so you can have unlimited magic, unlimited health. The first urn of power, I think it was Gaia, was in part 1 I showed you guys. Alright, so the Dark Rider on that Dark Griffin that we were just fighting, he's one of the, I think he's like the second official boss of the game. And he kind of knocks us down into this lair of the Titan. And this Titan would be Typhon. He was imprisoned here in this ice cavern type thing. Kind of stuck.
You do not have enough power to lift the fingers of the great Titan. You must free the Pegasus, Kratos. It is your only passage to the Sisters of Fate.
Okay, so Kratos doesn't know it yet. He will find out later on in God of War 2. But the person narrating to him and talking to him in his head is actually Gaia. And so that would have been the person talking in the first God of War 2 to him. Now, you'll find out later in the story that Gaia has been overwatching Kratos since he was born, because he is a turning point in the Great War. Now, the gods thought that they ended the Great War with the Titans by using the Blade of Olympus, but that only imprisoned the Titans temporarily. As we'll see at the end of God of War, Kratos changes that. So I looked up a little bit about Typhon, the Titan, which is the big ice Titan that we're here. It says Typhon, youngest son of Gaia and Tartarus. He was described as a grisly monster with 100 dragons' heads, who was conquered and cast into the underworld by Zeus. So I guess in God of War's version, he was just another Titan. He didn't have 100 dragons' heads, which would be pretty cool to see, but instead, I guess he was kind of an ice Titan. He was imprisoned here by Zeus, of course. It does say he was buried underneath Mount Etna, or the island of Ischia. So maybe this is Mount Etna.
God of War, you live. I no longer walk with the gods. Who has placed you in this torment?
Zeus. My only crime was helping mankind. When I took the fires of Olympus to the mortals, Zeus considered it a betrayal. As punishment, he made me mortal and condemned me to be savagely consumed every day by this cursed bird. And then, with the fall of night, I am healed. How long have I been here? How long have I suffered this curse? I truly do not know. Please, Ghost of Sparta, release me from my torment! I must burn in the fires of Olympus. It is the only way. Kill me, Kratos, kill me.
Alright, so the guy we just came in contact with, that is the Titan Prometheus. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Prometheus, let's see. So, in Greek mythology, Prometheus had a reputation of being something of a clever trickster type Titan, I guess, and he apparently raided the workshop of Hephaestus, which is the kind of the blacksmith of the gods. He kind of makes all the gods' weapons and armor and stuff like that, and stole the fire of Olympus that Hephaestus worked with, and gave the gift of fire to humans and mankind, which then of course he was punished by Zeus here to be eaten every day, just as was described by the eagle as he was chained to a rock. So they're pretty on point with mythology here in God of War. Whether it's kind of twisted slightly here and there, it's still pretty much to the point in one way or another. Now, the reason Prometheus was even allowed on Olympus instead of being kind of punished or banned whenever the Great War ended, Prometheus actually was one of the leaders of the Titan versus the gods, the Great Battle or whatever. He was actually one of the leaders of the Titans in the Great Battle. Now, Prometheus switched sides. He decided to switch sides and be on the sides of the gods whenever the other Titans wouldn't listen to him because he wanted to use trickery and treachery to win the war, and they wouldn't listen. So he actually switched sides. So the gods allowed him to stay on Olympus with them, and that's whenever he still tried to trick them and take their fire and give it to the gods. I mean, the mankind. So he was punished after the other titans. Alright, you've got to be careful here. If you guys are playing this, you got to be careful here. Typhon's breath knocks you off of this. And that time it didn't even give me the option to use the ledge, so you've got to be really careful. I kind of went gung-ho trying to just hurry up and do it, but that didn't work, obviously. Just going to take it slow and do it right this time. Maybe. Also, I don't know how many people, I think I got like 2 or 3 comments as soon as I uploaded the part 1 of Cod of War that that I need to correct the title, that it's not Cod of War, it's God of War. Hopefully you guys see now why I named it Cod of War. Alright, like I said, since we're on bonus play, I do have everything unlocked already. So I will be using Kratos' Rage, which is this lightning attack here, a lot, as well as Atlas's Quake, which is that one move where I stomp the ground and rocks came out. Also, the weapon I have now is the Blade of Olympus. If you watched part 1, you'll know that Zeus sent this down to aid Kratos in the Battle of the Colossus. Also, I'm not sure how to get this chest. I'm not going to look into it too much since I really don't need red orbs. I've almost got everything maxed out already anyway, so... I guess I'll take this magic just to get it up all the way. Later on, I do plan on actually activating my urns of power that I've collected. So I should have infinite magic, 10 times the red orbs, as well as infinite rage of the Titans, which I think will be fun.
Freed Prometheus from the torment of the gods. His flesh has tainted the fires of Olympus and embodied it with the power of the Titans. These ashes will give you great strength, Kratos. Take them within you and use this strength to defeat your enemies.
So, in relieving Prometheus of his torture that he was exiled to, he gifted Kratos with his fire, which is Rage of the Titans here. So if we use it, we're like a molten lava type fish out of water. I guess this is what a fish feels like out of water. Anyway, in Rage of the Titans mode, I think we do get like increased damage, as well as attacks that would usually like knock us over and stun us or whatever. I think in Rage of the Titans mode, it actually doesn't do that. Yeah, Kratos kind of just ignores those kinds of attacks. Most of them, at least. Okay, so unfortunately, the only deaths in this playthrough are gonna be BS deaths of me accidentally falling off cliffs and crap like that. Now, I'm going to be putting together a video similar to the one that I did for the first God of War, where I kind of do a collection of all of the cinematics to make one 20 to 30 minute long video covering the story of God of War 2. So, basically what I'm trying to do is play through all of the God of Wars before the new God of War comes out on PS4. I am actually, I know a lot of you guys know me from art on the Xbox One. So, I had to borrow a PS3, and I don't know what I'm going to do whenever the new God of War comes out. I don't know if I'm going to have to buy a PS4, or maybe my little brother won't let me borrow his PS4. I don't know, because it's probably going to be about 2 weeks until I, play through the whole new God of War and have all the recording done for it. So I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to be doing there, but I do plan on covering the new God of War I am a huge God of War fan. I actually did play 1 and 2 back in the day, probably 10 years ago. And I don't know, I'm really intrigued in like Greek mythology. I think I can look back and say that God of War is what officially got me interested in Greek mythology in the first place. Just kind of seeing it and being in the story of it and fighting the gods themselves. I don't know, it's really unique and awesome, I think. So if you guys are playing this, I think that you do have to be in Titan mode, in Rage of the Titan mode or whatever, to lift Typhon's fingers here to free your Pegasus. Could be wrong, but I think you do. So anyway, dudes, we're gonna escape from this cavern here and get on with part 3 of the Cod of War 2 series. And yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this little series I've got going on here. I don't really do Let's Plays very often, you guys. You guys know I do admin commands for ARC, like I said, but I don't know, I guess we'll see how this goes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying, and stay tuned for more
Kratos,
Cod of War.
behold the island of creation, home to the Sisters of Fate. Here, the path to your true destiny begins. The island is fraught with danger. It was created to prevent all from reaching the 3 Sisters of Fate. The power of the Sisters will allow you to return to that moment when Zeus betrayed and killed you, Kratos, thus changing your fate and the fate of others.
So with part 3, we'll resume here at the Steeds of Time on the island of Lachesis, and I will catch you guys on the flip-flop. Do-wop, do-do-wop-wop, do-do-wop, do-do-wop, do-do-wop.